Here we are. Thank you for joining. Let's dive straight in. So let's start by separating the feet, standing tall, and then with the head, we're rolling all the way around. Gently, this may be the first exercise you've done for the day. So nice and gently, nice heavy arms, shoulders, jaw really soft. We're going to increase the movement to start to add on the arms, so windmilling the arms up and over. And stretch to the side of the body, stretch to the backs of the legs. Count on about 3 more in this direction so you have time to spread the fingers, spread the arms out wide. The next circle in this direction will be the last, and then we'll do the same in the other direction. We'll start slow, nurturing, just with the head, dropping the head to one side, circling around. As soon as you're ready, adding on the arms. The elbows can be bent. Nice soft arms, just warming up the spine, the body. Switching off from whatever you've been doing before, whatever you're going to be going on to do. Let's have another 2 in this direction. Lovely. All right, soften the knees and come up. Side to side, let's start nice and easy, shoulders back, and we're gliding side, down the outer seam of your clothes, and then engage the core coming all the way up. Let's have the same on the other side. Either stay here or hold the head in the hands with shoulders back and down. So we're increasing the weight on the side of the waist, navel to spine, activate the core before you come up to standing, so we're not loading on the spine, using as many muscles as possible. Again, stay here or take the arms overhead. Let's keep that long line along the spine, so we're folding directly to the side. And last time, over to this side. For a spinal twist, let's have your right hand on your belly, just to tilt the pelvis under and keep the idea of the pubic bone curling up towards the ribs. With the left hand, peel the left shoulder back, and we take a twist towards the right. The hand will then glide down your back, and we fold over the leg. Still holding the shoulder, come up to standing, roll that shoulder back and down, take the other one. So we're taking a side to side twist without dumping down, without collapsing in the shoulder. Nice backstroke of the arm into a twist of that long line from the hip to the elbow. And all the time thinking about that neutral spine position, so some engagement in the core. Last time each side. See, I'm actually pulling the armpit forwards to more energetically externally rotate the shoulder. And then from here, because there's no time for breaks, in our short session, we're going straight into a goddess squat. So turn the feet out and let's just warm up the thighs a little bit with a few bends. We're going into those V, W, T, L arms. So when you're ready, adding on, think about the pubic bone up to the ribs. Deep breath in, and we come into goddess squat in that V position. Press the heels into the floor to stand up. W, so shoulders back and down without the ribs and abs popping out. Breathing out into that W, long spine. Breathe in and stretch into a wide T, so knees are out wide. They may want to collapse, keep the knees out wide. Shoulders together, deep breath in. The same, we come via that T position, but we keep going. Elbows come into the waist, thumbs to the back wall, and we get that opening, offering weight to arms there. Let's have one more set. Deep breath in, always come to a nice reset. Squeeze the glutes, stretching out the hip flexors here. Breathing out, shoulders back and down, ribs together, navel to spine. Breathing in to stand tall, shoulders back and down, W. Spread the fingers here, active through the whole body. Breathe in to stretch, arms open wide. So tempting here to let the ribs flare out. Use those internal, external obliques to draw the ribs together. And then the last one, those mirrored capital L's. Deep breath in here, shoulders back and down, front ribs together, navel to spine, elbows into the waist, palms like a heavy book of Bible on the hands, so the hands stay stretched and strong, and then come on up, give the legs a shake. We're going to take a kind of modified sun salutation. So when you're ready, if you come to the front of your space, wherever you are, feet hip distance apart, shoulders back and down, and just take a moment to arrive. When you're ready, deep breath in, open the arms wide, stretch up to the ceiling, see the ribs come out of the hips, get that space in the waist, find space along the spine, and then come to a forward fold. Let the head dangle. We can tip-top the hips here a little bit, one knee bending at a time, and then the other. We're stepping back to a high lunge. So if I face you, your right leg, I'm mirroring you, steps back, find your balance and come on up. Till the pelvis, so we're stretching these right hip flexors, and then when you're ready, we're going to take 3 rounds of bending both knees. So see how the spine stays really long, so there's that vertical line from the base of the spine up to the crown of the head. You can either hold your hips or stretch the arms up to the ceiling. Here, really nice long pyramid shape. And then breathing out, strong cactus arms. I've lost count, so we'll do one more. And then we're stepping back to all fours for cat-cow. Are you ready? So lower to the floor, step back with the knee, and let's go on to 2 rounds of cat-cow. Breathe in to arch the spine. Breathing out, round the back, lift the navel, point the toes, nice stretching with the tops of the ankles. Breathe in and up, stretch the throat, exercise those muscles, and breathing out. So after this last round of cat-cow, we're lifting the hips back and up for down dog. So tuck your toes under, keep the knees bent, and send the hips back for down dog. We can slowly start to pedal the feet, heels come closer to the floor, long spine, and we're walking the feet up towards the hands, coming back to that ragdoll fold, rolling up through the spine. At the top, roll the shoulders back and down. We go again, leading with your left leg. Take a deep breath in, open the arms, stretch up to the ceiling. Breathing out, ragdoll fold. So when you're ready, we're stepping the left foot back to a high lunge. So you can keep the heel lifted. You can walk your hands up the leg to get your balance, bottom tucked. Arms overhead or on the hips. Let's take 3 rounds. Both knees bend, but the thing here is the spine long. So that vertical line, see if you can squeeze the glutes and come to a nice tall pyramid shape at the top. Chin's tucked in towards the neck. And off we go. So the lower you go, the more we tilt the pelvis under. Here's the last one. We're back to all fours, hands on the floor. This time just 2 rounds of cat-cow. Breathe in and look up. Breathe out and curl around the back. Point the toes. Separate the shoulder blades. Last time. Breathing in. We're getting ready for down dog. Always take a child pose here. That's another option if you need a break. Let's tuck the toes under. And lift the hips and pedal it through. One heel at a time. Start to walk the feet towards the hands. Find that ragdoll, forward fold. Have a swing around the feet. And then let's roll up through the spine. Head last to come up. One vertebra at a time. All right, now you know what we're doing. We've got one more around each side. Take a deep breath in. Stretch over the head. Breathe out and fold. Step your right foot back to a high lunge. Walk your hands up the leg, hands on the hips or overhead. Deep breath in, straighten the legs if you can. And then breathing out, cactus, strong arms, bottom tilts. We're getting a yummy stretch in the front of the quads, into the hip flexors. 2 more. Front ribs together, navel back to the spine. Chin back, so the back of the head, even as we lower down, it stays in the same vertical line as the back of the pelvis. All fours, cat-cow. Take a breath in and look up. Breath out and arch. That's your lot. Take a down dog. Tuck your toes, lift the hips, pedal it through, and then walk your feet towards your hands. Ragdoll fold and roll up through the spine. We're ready for the last round, leading with your left leg. A deep breath in, stretch, lengthen, breathe out and fold. Stepping your left leg back to a high lunge. Find your balance, rise up, stretch, deep breath in, breathe out. Knee towards the floor, straight line from the knee up into the waist. One more, one round of cat-cow. Let's go, hands to the floor, step back. Cat-cow. Breathing in and out. Toes tucked, down dog, last time. And then walk the hands towards the feet. Roll up through the spine. And at the very top, roll the shoulders back and down. Have a shrug of the shoulders with soft knees. Just let everything soften out. One quick standing balance, we're going to go straight into a kind of rond-de-jambe with the legs. So let's put all of our weight into the left leg, soften at the knee, and we'll circle with that right leg. So that work of training the ribs together, navel to spine, will help here with our balance. If this is tricky, stay with this. This is lovely, shrugging out tension from the hip, the mobility of the hip. We're working the strength of the ankle that we're standing on. Balance with really challenging. Anyone who wants to take this further, you wrap the leg and come down into the Garudasana squat. Hands can be on the hips, or we can take the full bind. So if you're mirroring me with your right leg on top, left arm underneath, cross, and let's sink a little bit lower. Otherwise, we're still taking that leg swing. So you're still strengthening the ankle. If you're taking the full bind, elbows up in front of the face, you get that work into the shoulder blades. Oh, and then let's release. Shake out that standing leg. Let's have a go on the other side. All your weight into your right leg with a soft knee. And let's take the arms out wide, just helps with balance initially. A nice gentle swing, circling semicircle of your left leg, with the option of taking your balance challenge a little bit deeper and wrapping. Here the toes can be on the floor, or the toes kind of pushing into your ankle. But let's lower our center of gravity, taking a deeper bend in the knees. Right arm on top, underneath rather. Take your bind, stack the elbows, and actively, energetically pull the elbows into each other. That's what's going to separate the elbows. It doesn't matter whether the hands, palms find each other or not. One more breath here, and then we're coming down to the mat. Wonderful. Have a shake out. We're coming to a kneeling position. So when you're ready, you make your way down to the floor. Now let's take a little camel pose. So from all fours, we can support the lower back into that posterior tilted position so that the core is engaged, shoulders back and down, and it's a small lean, hands are pressing the hips forward. This might already be nice in your quads, your hip flexors. Avoid a lower back bend, and let's just see if we can lift the heart space up to the ceiling, leaning back. Only if you know you've got the flexibility and the warmth already and the muscles, you can reach back maybe for one heel or both. But that's really icing on the cake, no straining the lower back. And we can circle and move the head in any direction just to ease out or find that nice level of stretch, release in the neck. Take a wide knee child pose, nice and gently, big toes together, knees out wide, and place the hands forward and give yourself a moment here. Brilliant. On an in-breath, lift the head. That can just help us not get dizzy. Onto your backs. So let's find where is the right level of challenge for you. So we'll start with the knees into the chest. Just have a little massage for the lower back there. And then with the hands beside the hips, lift so the ankles are either in line with the knees or a little bit higher. And start to find that engagement in your core. So you can check with your fingers that everything's pulled in. And then start to extend the knees away from your body. When it gets to the point where you might end up arching your back, or if you've gone too far, draw the knees in. Find your challenge point where you're having to shake, hold those abdominal muscles, and we'll take it in turns to straighten one leg, 10, then the other, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, are you shaking? Are you making it too easy? 3, 2, 1. Hug the knees into the chest. Have a little rock on the spine. Adductor stretch. Legs up to the ceiling. You can hold the inner thighs and breathe. Smoothly opening the legs with pointed toes. Flex and draw the heels together. There's 10. Point open. 9. Flex, return. Keep going. Chin tucked into the chest. The hands on the inner thighs, not to strain, but just to support. Keep going. A few more. And I'm going to throw in that unpopular reverse curl, but it's so effective for toning those lower abdominals. Which is so great for supporting the lower back. So I've lost count as usual, so let's point the toes and open one last time. Flex, so you're leading with the heels, strong heels, come together and hug the knees into the chest. So why have a little rock on the spine? These reverse curls, when we get going, it can be really hard to get the hips off the floor, so don't be discouraged. Don't feel that you can't use a little bit of momentum. So feet can be on the floor and we can press fists into the floor to give us the added support of arm muscles, the arm strength, the triceps to lift, and we're aiming for 10. Alternatively, you can hold the edge of your mat if you're on one and almost like pull the mat apart and down towards the bottom edge of the mat. And that can give you a little bit of extra strength in the arms. And I'm not going to start counting from 10. I reckon we're on about 6 left to go here. So your version, if you want to take straight legs, if you're a little bit more accustomed to this, we might get to a plow. But believe me, I'm shaking. If my triceps are reminding me they're there, a little bit of a scream, work into the triceps. So going at a level where you're working, but definitely no pain. And otherwise, it's just a little pump, little whoop, up you go. Let's go for 2 more. Lifting the hips, lowering, with as much control as you can muster up. And there's the last one. Take a full body stretch. Try to not knock over any plants, and we're rolling onto our bellies. Are you ready? From here, think about a backstroke action. So when we're standing, we held the arm with the fingers right into the armpit so we could roll the shoulder back. So that's the action we're going to take. Let's protect the lower back. So from a sphinx sort of position, tilt the pelvis so the pubic bone is pressed into the floor. Arms out in front of you, and we'll alternate. So hands, one hand on the armpit, roll the shoulder back and take that backstroke action. And then to the other side. So rolling the shoulder back and down, a little bit of a spinal twist. So it's like a really mindful backstroke where we're not collapsing into the shoulders. We could do this without holding the shoulders, but can you see how my shoulder has dropped down? We want to promote that openness across the chest, a more externally rotated position in the shoulder. So head can stay on the floor, or it can hover. If you wish, you can lift the opposite leg. But if you feel any negative sensations in the lower back, leave the leg and concentrate on that pelvic tilt which pushes the pubic bone into the floor. Have one more each side and then take a child pose. So hands under the shoulders, tuck the toes. And when you're ready, sit back on the heels and have a little rock. Wonderful. So, nice and easing for the hips. We come on to all fours. Let's glide the right knee forwards. It doesn't matter if you're sitting on the heel. Maybe the shin can come closer to being parallel to the front edge of the mat. All depends on which hip, what day of the week it is, and how you're feeling. So into a pigeon with whatever modifications you need to make. So from all fours, the right knee is glided forwards, and we're squaring the hips up to the front. And that little rock side to side, eventually the hips will become more evenly distanced from the mat. Long through the back leg, or with a little bend in the knee if that's more accessible to you. We're swiveling, so walk your hands across the outside of the knee in front, no forcing, but just easing, a little bit of swiveling movement there with the shoulders up through the spine, enjoying whatever you're feeling in the front of the hip, no forcing. And then let's take it to the other side. Hands under the shoulders, tuck your toes under at the back. So we come back via all fours, shake out the hips, and over to the other side. Left knee glides forwards, just checking out how it feels on this side without forcing. A little bit of swiveling now. Now we're placing the hands a little bit more over to the side, so we're lining ourselves up over that front knee, that spinal twist, and a gentle rock to get the hips evenly distanced from the floor. Will give you a nice little bit of release in the front of the hip there. The pressure on these external rotators should be a nice sensation, so please don't force anything there. And then just a little bit of warmth in the shoulder blades, just so that we can ease out tension there. Let's tuck the toes and meet me on all fours again. So, scapular press ups, that's not really what we're going to do. I want you to feel the sense of circling, and as if we're rinsing out the shoulder blades. So the hands are to the floor, maybe slightly turned down. And what we want is openness across the chest. Here, this is difficult until you get the hang of it. Keeping the arms straight. Now I'm puffing the spine right up to the ceiling so the shoulder blades separate. And then the reverse, arms stay still, but the spine drops down, and see how I collapse then into the joints. So it's a simple lifting and lowering. And once the brain gets used to which muscles are needed to keep the arms straight, it becomes a lot more straightforward. So don't stress too much if your elbows keep bending. Just keep reminding yourself, keep the arms straight and just feel like the spine is a piece of floss, and we're flossing, rinsing out the shoulder blades. If that's going well, let's take a circling action. So now think about your body as being a wheel, and it's going forwards. So push up, come forward, drop down, sink back. Forward, down, back, and lift. So some amount of swaying is almost inevitable in the arms. We're trying to keep those arms as steady and still as possible. If there's any particular crunching going on, we're probably just holding a little bit of tension in the head, neck, shoulders, and we're feeling it now that we're kind of rinsing out. Have one more circle in this direction. And then see if we can change direction. So you're reversing now that wheel. The spine comes forwards and up, back and lowering. Give me 2 more in this direction, then we'll ease out the muscles of the shoulders, arms, the wrists. You're nearly there. Either tucking your toes under and sitting on the heels, or any other sitting comfortable position. Then stretch the arms overhead. Take hold of that right wrist and stretch up and over to the left. And then the other side, take hold of that left wrist and stretch up and over. Back to the ceiling, the right arm, drop it down your back, walk the fingers down your back, hold the elbow and stretch those triceps. Breathing deeply. Release, same arm across the body, hook from underneath, gently as if you're pulling your hands to the socket, but pull back, shoulders down, neck released. Gently pulling, feeling that nice work into the deltoids and creating space in the shoulder joint. And then let's take it to the other side. Just shrug out, tricep stretch first, arms up to the ceiling, drop the left hand down the back. Use your fingers to maybe walk a little bit further down, support around the elbow. See if you can lift the head. Tempting to drop the chin to chest here. You can actually use the head to get a little bit more opening. Shoulders down. Letting the breathing start to settle. And then the same arm across the body. So shoulder down, hook from underneath, and gently pull in 2 directions. You can let the head dangle. You can definitely smile. And then let's release. Hands in a fist, draw circles. If you're going to be typing, doing any close work today, or no work with the hands, let's get that mobility into the wrists. Let's use the fingers, spread and fan the fingers out wide. And then inwards, little finger up to the thumb, circle. Relieving out the wrist, hold the right wrist and pull down. Make a fist, pull a little bit deeper down, and now circle the wrist so you're really supporting the joint. And then still working with the same right arm, just give yourself a squeeze all the way down. Sometimes around the belly of this forearm muscle, there's a little bit of tension there. So nice and gently giving it a good squeeze. Over to the other arm. Pull, so we're supporting around the wrist. Pull down, make a fist. Pull a little bit deeper and circle. Both directions, and then take that squeeze a little bit further down, just checking out how the forearm feels. And there we go, hold the shoulders, elbows together, up and back and down. So throughout your day today, see if you can find an opportunity to hold your armpits, spin them forward so armpits are up to the ceiling, and just have this as a reset in your day. So shoulders are set back and down to work against that inevitable rounding that's comes, especially when the weather starts to turn. Keeping the shoulders nice and open. Let's open the arms, deep breath in, and as you breathe out, those cactus offering arms, elbows into the waist. Last time, deep breath in, stretch, open wide, elbows into the waist. Last time for the head roll. All the way around, soft shoulders. And in the other direction. Brilliant. So there you are, packed into a lot into 30 minutes. Really well done.